Before satellites, before aircraft, before any technology capable of seeing the Earth from above, human beings were already trying to understand the full shape of the world they inhabited. The maps they produced in that effort tell a story far more fascinating than any single geographic discovery. They reveal how civilizations thought, what they feared, what they believed, and how the boundaries of human knowledge expanded over thousands of years. The earliest of these maps were not inaccurate out of ignorance or carelessness. They were honest representations of the world as each civilization experienced it. The oldest known world map dates back to 6th century BC Babylon. It places Babylon at the center of existence, with the known world stretching no further than the borders of Mesopotamia. A circular bitter river surrounds everything, beyond which lie 7 islands thought to be forever out of reach. Greek historian Hecataeus of Miletus produced his world map sometime in the 5th or 6th century BC, dividing the known world into 3 regions, Europe, Asia, and Libya, all oriented around the Mediterranean Sea. The philosopher Posidonius drew his world map in the 2nd century BC, building on earlier Greek geographic traditions and incorporating the territorial discoveries made during Alexander the Great's campaigns. Roman geographer Pomponius Mela produced his world map in 43 AD, offering one of the earliest surviving Roman attempts to chart the known world. Claudius Ptolemy's world map, completed around 150 AD, was groundbreaking for its introduction of a coordinate system using lines of longitude and latitude, the first time such a grid had been applied to a world map. The Tabula Peutingeriana, a 4th century Roman map, charts the vast road network of the Roman Empire. Extraordinarily elongated in shape, it stretches from Iberia to India, with Rome positioned at the heart of the known world. The 6th century monk Cosmas Indicopleustes mapped the world as a flat rectangle, with the sky arching above it like a vaulted chest and the heavens presiding over all. His cosmology rejected the classical spherical model entirely in favor of a biblical framework. Isidore of Seville developed the T and O map in the 7th century, a design that neatly partitioned the world into 3 equal sections, Asia, Europe, and Africa, arranged around Jerusalem as the world's central point. Heinrich Bunting's clover leaf map, published in Germany in 1581, was never intended as a geographic document. Instead, it visualized the world as a symbol of the Christian Trinity, with 3 landmasses arranged like petals around Jerusalem, which anchors the composition at its center. The Anglo-Saxon cotton map, produced between 1025 and 1050 AD, orients the world with the east at the top. Its most striking feature is the rendering of every river in Africa in red, a misreading of written accounts describing the Red Sea. The world map attributed to Beatus of Libana, an Asturian monk, was created in the 8th century AD as part of his commentary on the Book of Revelation, blending geographic knowledge with biblical geography. Mahmud al-Kashgari's 11th century map places the ancient city of Balasagun, in present-day Kyrgyzstan, at the center of the world. Beyond the known territories, the map also charts places tied to eschatological prophecy, including the legendary regions of Gog and Magog. Al-Idris's Tabula Regeriana, completed in 1154 AD, was compiled from the travel accounts of Arab merchants who had journeyed across much of the known world. It stood as the most accurate and geographically comprehensive world map of its time. The Psalter world map, created by an unknown monk in 1260 AD, follows the medieval convention of placing east at the top, toward the rising sun, with Christ depicted overseeing the world from above. Gervase of Ebstorf's world map, drawn in 13th century Germany, adheres to the medieval T and O tradition, positioning Jerusalem at the center and organizing the continents around it in the established tripartite scheme. Richard of Haldingham's Hereford Mappa Mundi, produced in the 14th century, is another T and O map with Jerusalem at its center and east at the top. Notably, it places the Garden of Eden as a physical location at the map's southernmost edge. Venetian cartographer Pietro Visconti's 1321 world map marked a turning point in geographic accuracy. By incorporating nautical charts, tools of practical navigation, he reintroduced precision to world mapping after centuries dominated by the symbolic T and O tradition. The Da Minghanyi II, produced in late 14th century China, reflects the world as understood during the Ming dynasty. China commands the vast majority of the map's surface, while the entirety of Europe is compressed into a small corner of the West. The Genos map of 1457, drawn from the accounts of Venetian traveller Niccolo da Conti, reflects Europe's expanding knowledge of Asia following the opening of overland trade routes through Mongolia and China. The Mer des Histoires world map, produced in 1491, shows that even on the eve of the Age of Exploration, some cartographers, particularly monks, continued producing T&O maps, with Jerusalem at the center and the earthly paradise positioned as a real, physical place in the east. Martin Behind's Adapfel, crafted in Germany in 1492, is the oldest surviving globe. It accurately represents the Earth as a sphere, but with one conspicuous absence: the Americas, whose existence was yet unknown, appear simply as open ocean. Johannes Ruisch's 1507 world map is among the earliest to depict the New World in cartographic form, capturing the first tentative efforts to understand and represent the lands Columbus had encountered. Also produced in 1507, the map by Martin Waldseemüller and Matthias Ringmann was the first to apply the name America to the New World. By the time Gerard van Schagen produced his world map in 1689, the outlines of most of the globe had been charted. Only scattered portions of the Americas remained uncertain, left deliberately vague where knowledge had not yet reached. Samuel Dunn's 1794 world map drew heavily on the voyages of Captain James Cook to produce what was, at the time, the most complete outline of the world ever committed to paper, the first map to account for the full shape of the globe.